Yo, what is up, my fellow losers? This boy, my like 6 sauce can never take a motherfucking loss. Today, we about to react to TJ Love Fights. I ain't react to TJ in a little minute, but this video was kind of interesting, so I was like, you know what? Let me react to this shit, you know? Is it the end for Alex Pereira? Chiama. This is actually a good ass question because listen, Pereira definitely had an active win streak, he had an active resume because he was always active. That's number one. Number two, he's old, but he's not really that old. But at the same time, he's been fighting for a fucking long time. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's based on if he hesitated or not against Goliath, you know? Because last fight he thought he was gonna throw a little more takedowns or anything like that, but Goliath is a real like strategic striker, so I don't really know. But at the same time, we just gotta wait and see, bro. We can predict anything, but not predict, but. You know what I mean? Let that shit marinate. You mean?
Pereira's last chance. Damn, it's been a while since we've talked about Alex Pereira. I was seeing more and more memes like these, and I started to see the truth behind them. The last time we saw Alex was in March of this year, but his quiet departure has made it seem like it was forever ago. He hasn't really posted on his YouTube channel in months now. He's posted a couple training videos and random side quest videos on his Instagram, but nothing really major, especially nothing really to note when it comes to when we're going to see him return. I guess something to note is that the guy's like 240 pounds now. But anyways, it's crazy that one of the most active fighters and really the clear face of the UFC at the time kind of just took a break. And since then, he hasn't been really talked about, nor was he talking about his next fight. Until now. It was just announced Tuesday of this week that we would have a banger of a card at UFC 320. We're talking Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev 2, a co-main of Merab and Corey Sandhagen, and an amazing fight between Jiří Procházka and Khalil Roundtree. I can't believe we're back, boys. After all the bullshit pay-per-views we've gotten mostly this year, it's really looking like we're getting another stacked card soon.
Finally.
But more importantly, what we're definitely seeing is Alex Pereira's last chance at the belt. With Alex turning 38 a couple days ago, and we'll get into it, but even him hinting at possible retirement on Twitter, this is for sure his last chance at being a UFC champion, and this is definitely looking like endgame for his career. So we have to ask, does Alex Pereira get it done in his last chance, or are we seeing the end to Alex Pereira's career? So where has Alex been? After the Magomed Ankalaev fight, Alex took a pretty long break, and a deserved break at that. I mean, the guy fought 3 times in 1 year on practically every 3 cards, which is insane. And before that, actually fought 3 times in 2023 and 2022, which is bonkers. That type of activity, especially considering the level of competition he was facing, was definitely not sustainable. So he took a break, went to Japan, and rested up. But he was tweeting like this break was for good. Around May of this year, the UFC apparently already wanted Alex to rematch Magomed Ankalaev at International Fight Week in June, and Alex turned it down. This had Magomed Ankalaev tweeting about the situation, saying, "I was offered to fight Alex International Fight Week. If the man don't want it, let's move on. I'm ready for everyone,
bro. He had to take a break."
To which Alex responded, "I always answer the UFC's call, but if they want to play with me, we can do that. I've never spoken poorly of the UFC. With what I've just heard, I'm disheartened. I've already had thoughts of not fighting anymore, and after what was just relayed to me, this may be the start." Now, this is a since deleted tweet, as Alex went on social media later to clear up this tweet and say that he was hacked, which, come on, dude. Do you really think that we would believe that someone would hack your Twitter to say that and not something else insane?
Yeah.
Even DC didn't buy it, and it's clear what happened was Alex...
He's serious, though.
Did turn down the fight, thinking it was way too early to take, and the UFC told him they wouldn't wait on him and would give Magomed a different opponent, which probably led to this tweet. Dana probably got mad and said, take that shit down, to where Alex would try to clean up and say he got hacked. And that's all probably what happened. Jiří Procházka's camp would confirm a couple months later that the UFC did offer them a fight with Magomed, but Jiří had fucking finals week to take care of. Had Jiří not been in school, the UFC would have 100% made Jiří versus Magomed for the title in June, but because this fell through, Alex was in the
It's not crazy, but it's just surprising. Like, he fighting and he in school, and he like, nah, I can't fight right now. I got class. That's some anime shit, bro. The fuck? Shit is glitched out.
Later, after this, Alex, the UFC, and Magomed Ankalaev all got what they wanted, and now we officially got the rematch on a stacked UFC 320 card. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but my gut feeling is saying, I'm not sure he gets it done. Yeah, everyone in the comments will say how I switched up on Alex. I'm quick to change my opinion, how fickle I am when it comes to UFC takes. I had Alex winning instead of Magomed, even though that was literally how the underdog wins. But anyways, There's going to be a lot of criticism about how I'm quote-unquote turning on Alex Pereira and calling his end early. But you know what? Fuck it. I'll stand your base. This is very clearly Alex Pereira's last shot at the belt and last shot at a solid win, I think. He's 38 years old and is very clearly at the end of his career. And on top of this, he was also suggesting that he was thinking of retiring, even though he's clearly not retiring. Just the simple fact that he has even the thought of that in his head means he's 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door. And we just saw how having that mentality has slowed down fighters. Additionally, the guy's like 240 pounds now.
Facts.
We often see guys go up in weight class as their careers progress because it's just harder to cut that weight as you get older. And speaking of cutting weight, let me put you guys on something that has helped me cut and I've been fucking with even before this sponsorship.
Yo, I'm actually extremely excited.
You don't look cut, bruh. I'm sorry.
With a tough weight cut ahead of him, now being a little older and mentally already considering retirement, Alex is already starting off at a disadvantage. I know Alexander Volkanovski had a similar situation happen when he was given the chance to come back against a young killer in Diego Lopez who was coming off 2 brutal KO losses, but he was 36. And even though that's only a 2-year age difference, that makes a hell of a lot of a difference in the sport. A sport where 1 year can statistically be a huge difference between winning and losing, and where once a fighter is on the decline, it feels like every fight after that gets drastically worse and worse in the matter of months. So it seems like all of the factors outside of fighting are kind of stacked up against Alex Pereira. So let's look into his fight with Magomed Ankalaev to see it from a technical perspective. To Alex's credit, Alex will probably let his hands go knowing that he can defend the takedown and knowing that what really lost him this fight was inactivity. He probably has a better gauge of distance now and will be more confident to fight his game more. I still do think the game plan I listed here, which was basically purposely moving backwards to both use the fence to get back up and also to lull Magomed Ankalaev into a devastating shot, will still be useful in this rematch. However, let's look at it from Magomed Ankalaev's side. Not only will Magomed know that he can deal with Alex's striking, he can hurt him too, like he surprisingly did in the second. Ankalaev's ability to mix it up and show different looks to Alex completely changes up the dynamic and leads to openings like these. He was feinting really well and giving Alex too many looks to comprehend. Even though Alex is probably going to be more aggressive in the second fight and more confident in the stand-up, I think Magomed Ankalaev is also going to be more offensive, considering he knows for a fact that he can hurt Alex. And the hand speed advantage here was on full display as well. There were multiple instances where Alex literally didn't see the punch and didn't react.
Listen, let's be honest. Lock in, what y'all locking and listen. Before Alex Pereira came into the UFC, Ankalaev was already the next up light heavyweight champ. But Alex Pereira being such a big star and Izzy and them having that rivalry, that's when Alex Pereira came in the mix. He started fighting and he won, then he lost and went to light heavyweight. And you see how Ankalaev was in the side and how Alex Pereira got up. This is straight facts. I'm not bullshitting with you right now. Ankalaev always been a beast. He's always been a good fighter. He always been one of those Dagestanian Russian guys who's like, holy shit, he's a fucking monster. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now and one time only. This is Alex, literally his last fight to be like, all right, do I want to keep fighting or don't I? You feel me? If he want to, because think about it, he's been fighting in the UFC for not too long, but he's been more active than a lot of these fighters right now. Think about that. But let's get back into it.
Mr. Island head was just still like a stone, and Magomed would launch these 1-2s with pretty much no reaction or a quick jab that would pop Alex with seemingly no warning. And the fact that Alex's only response to this forward pressure is just to extend his arms and back up obviously hurt him in this fight, as he didn't expect Magomed Ankalaev's footwork to close the distance so quickly.
Join eToro's Learn and Earn Challenge and earn cash. It's easy. Visit etoro.tw/earn.
I know it's only been a couple months since this fight, and it isn't like Alex has aged all too much, but of course, speed and reaction time only gets worse at this age as time moves on. You know, as much as I want to say Alex Pereira can get it done and launch that bomb and will be more comfortable throwing shots, knowing that he can defend the takedown.
He definitely could.
I just think also on Magomed Ankalaev's side, he knows that he has the clear speed advantage and can hurt Alex Pereira as well. But even so, of course, I want to see Alex Pereira prove me wrong. Obviously, I want him to get that devastating knockout. Of course, I want to see him get that belt back. And honestly, I want him to dethrone Magomed Ankalaev, who really isn't a draw and is a little boring.
Facts,
but I just don't like the chances of him doing so. But even though this is clearly his last shot at being champion and his chances of doing so are a little low, in my opinion, I also don't think this is his last fight, period.
Fuck
I know
no.
this is looking far ahead of this fight, but I think in the likely case
he gotta go to heavyweight, bro.
he loses, he moves up to finally check off fighting at heavyweight. It's something he's been saying he always wanted to do for a very long time now, and being that he's 240 plus pounds now, that's a solid weight for heavyweight. And with Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane set to fight on the next card at UFC 321, taking on the loser of that fight, which is most likely going to be Cyril Gane, would be a dream matchup. Imagine two giant skilled kickboxers at heavyweight. That would be bonkers. And in the other case in which Alex beats Magomed Ankalaev, I still think he moves up and instead fights the winner, which would be Tom Aspinall. That would be also a dream matchup, and in the little time left Alex has in the UFC, he could add being a 3-division champion. But before we get ahead of ourselves, Alex does have a tough task ahead of him.
He definitely
This is for sure his last chance at becoming champion again.
Them
And we can
Dagestanians,
either
bro.
see another Volkanovski moment, or we can see another Israel Adesanya moment. I guess we'll find out that Saturday. Anyways, what do you guys think about Alex Pereira?
Listen, man. Chime into the fucking day we